Hey YouTube! So I've been wanting to start my own vlog for a long time. I'm a big watcher of a lot of really interesting vlogs out there, and I have had an excuse for everything. My current excuse usually has been it's too hot. It is June and I do live in northern Arizona and it is over 100 degrees outside. I don't have an air conditioning in my house. We have a evaporative cooler, but not an air conditioning, so I keep my hair wet a lot of the times. I don't really put on anything on my face, so I just kind of look pretty au natural right now. And so I decided, you know what? No time like the present, so I don't care if I look crappy. I don't care if everybody thinks I look stupid or if my house is a mess or, I don't have time. I'm going to try to do at least one video every week. So what I want to talk about, because that's what you really want to know, is what I'm going to vlog about. And if the title of the channel didn't tell you, I want to vlog about my journey through intentional minimalism. If you're asking yourself, what does that mean? I've got some notes here I wanted to discuss because I'm very organized. And intentional is done on purpose or deliberate. And minimalism as a lifestyle is keeping things simple. Minimalist prefers smaller amounts of things. So I have a wardrobe and it's much smaller than a lot of normal people's. I particularly choose to spend a bit more money on the items that I buy, but I buy fewer items and I buy higher quality. For me, that's a lot of what I describe as minimalism. I have less, but what I have is high quality. It is intentionally bought. Nothing is bought on a whim. Everything is researched. Everything is saved for. I pay cash for absolutely everything, or debit card online, of course. And for me, intentional minimalism, if you put those two together, it would be deliberately preferring a minimal amount of something. It's not something that comes naturally to me. I like to buy stuff. I love going shopping. I like souvenirs and little tchotchkes and things. And I like to buy those things and I get home and I love them and I sit them out there and suddenly my house is completely full with these things and I hate the clutter. I hate feeling like my life, my mind, my world is that cluttered. So for me, it's very intentional. My minimalism has to be intentional because if I were left to my own wants, desires, and needs, I would never do it. I really want to travel. We haven't gotten to do as much traveling as I would like, but we got to go to Kenya last year and spend an entire month in Kenya, and then we got a 24-hour layover in Amsterdam, and we've always had the travel bug, my husband and I, but that is one of those moments when I realized I really wanted to make that a priority in my life. I really like moving. I know that sounds weird. Everybody is like, what is wrong with you? You like moving? I love moving. We have moved 4 times in 7 years. Okay, we started out in Kentucky, where we went to college. Then we moved down to Georgia. We moved from Georgia to LA for a little bit. LA to here where we are now. So that's 3 or 4 moves. I'm not great at math, but we've lived, the longest place we lived was in Atlanta, which was 3 years. So since we got married 7 years ago, we have never stayed anywhere longer than 3 years. And I've discovered I really like that. We're almost getting to 3 years here where we're at, and I'm starting to look for the next place to move. I like experiencing people's culture through living with them. I'm from, my family's from California. I was raised in Phoenix. When I turned 18, I moved to Kentucky to go to school. That was a complete culture change for me, and it was amazing. I got to really experience what it was like to live in that part of the country, and then we got to move to Atlanta, and that was a completely different experience. I mean, you'd think they're 6 hours apart, it can't possibly be that different. It definitely was that different. The difference between living in the country and then in a major city like that, it was complete difference. And it was just a lot of interesting experiences, and I really grew having them. And then we got to spend a month in Kenya. It's almost like getting to live there for a little bit, even though it was only a month. It wasn't, long term or anything. But we started to have a routine. We started to take on the routines of the Kenyans. We started to accumulate some of their habits, cultures, and just ways of living that was really fun and interesting. And I really found I love doing that. I love experiencing a culture through living with the people. So for me, minimalism, travel, wanting to move a lot, I can't have the traditional American dream lifestyle and be able to do that. We got caught up. We were 21 and 22 in 2008 when the financial stuff hit, and we were very young, trying to look for work and that kind of economy, and it just kind of set a tone for where we're headed and where we were going to be able to achieve in a certain amount of time. Was just not going to be the lifestyle of our parents, and we've discovered that's probably the best thing that ever happened to us, because we don't want it. And if something like having to move in with my in-laws, which is how we lived in Atlanta for 3 years, that kind of experience, that kind of forced minimalism, forced lifestyle, we discovered we really loved it. And I don't think we would have ever thought, hey, I know, let's sell all our stuff and move into a shoebox apartment in tiny spaces and do that all over the world. I don't think a lot of people growing up in today's American culture would have considered something like that either. And it definitely didn't occur to us. So we're really lucky to have been able to have that kind of an experience at such a young age, and been able to realize that it was really something we loved doing. So if I were to talk about what I wanted to share, it would be where we are right now in our minimalism, and our journey going forward. I want to talk a lot about our travel experiences. We have a couple of things coming up, and hopefully one really big thing, which as soon as we get closer to that, which will be several months from now, but details will be popping up and coming to light about our big adventure, hopefully in the next 18 months, and just where we're headed and how we're doing it and how we're implementing minimalist techniques and concepts and just lifestyle into living a very anti-culture lifestyle. So I hope you will join us. You can hit the subscribe button. I will be working very hard to make sure that I have a video every week, and bear with me, I do just have my phone for my camera, and I am not a in front of camera person, so bear with me as I learn what works, what doesn't in a video format, and thanks for watching.